So you've been coming for a little bit, and I just wanted to ask, how long did you wait before you tried this? Before you tried this therapy?
I heard about it in February, and I didn't really get a lot of information, but I was curious about it. Didn't do any research, and then my friends came back from Arizona, and they told me way more about it. So I got really curious, and then it wasn't until, of course, my ankles both started hurting that I really delved into it.
What got you curious? What was catching your attention?
The coolest thing about it, I thought, was the fact that you're working with your own body. And I don't like doctors and the way they just band-aid everything, whereas this actually goes deeper.
So what made you hesitate? What took so long then?
I didn't know where to go.
Okay.
And so then I asked my friends where they thought I should go, and they gave me, of course, your information.
Okay. What was you already mentioned your ankles. What was your problem? Describe that a little bit. How bad was it?
It got to the point where I was taking baby steps, supporting myself on walls to go downstairs. I could barely drive without hurting so bad. Shoes. The pressure of shoes and socks on my ankles got so painful. And it was like, what am I going to do? I hate pain meds. I need to do something. So.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that'll make you act. Okay, you already pretty much answered this. What were you missing out on? Being able to walk and maybe, is there any expansion on that? What were you missing out on?
I couldn't keep up with my friends.
Okay.
I couldn't go for walks pain-free like I used to. And I couldn't wear shoes without hurting, and I have to wear shoes for work. So that made work miserable.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Okay.
everything started to get miserable.
Wow. What else had you tried?
I tried some physical therapy. I tried heat. Of course, ibuprofen was becoming a regular regimen for me, as well as Tylenol. Exercises for my ankles. I used bands. I used tendon stretching, trying to isolate it. Different shoes, more cushion, less cushion, no heel button, shoes with no backs on them. I tried everything I possibly could short of going to a doctor and getting pain meds.
It sounds like it. That was a long list. Okay, so you've already spoken to this a little bit, but I'll ask again. What was your understanding of myofascial release?
The way they described it was how it basically goes in and releases all the little tiny fibers above the muscle, but how that releases energy, and I didn't have a big enough picture. So in the back of my mind, being a nurse, of course, I knew how the muscles worked, but with the interesting thing of having the layer of the tissue above the muscles worked on, I'd had massages, but I'd never had something superficial done like that. And I wanted to find out if it would actually work. So
Okay.
I wanted to know more.
Cool. All right. What would you say about myofascial release to someone now who is procrastinating about trying it?
I would probably ask them what they're worried about the most, and then tell them everything that I've had done with me, and actually tell them the results of it and what I experienced, because sometimes they can kind of put themselves in your shoes and understand a little bit more that way, because it did happen to me, and I understand it, and I understand the nerves and being procrastinating about it.
Yeah.
So maybe go along those lines and let them know it's way more beneficial than anything else I've ever done.
Fantastic. And actually, I mean, that was a great question. I'm glad I asked it. I actually misspoke what I was trying to ask.
Oh, yeah?
It was going to be something along the lines of, what would you tell them about myofascial therapy, myofascial release?
First thing I would say is it's fantastic. You have to try it. You know, just right off the bat. And then, of course, with the expression on my face, hopefully they'd see and try to ask more questions. Like, what is it? You know, how does it work?
What would you
Is
say?
it painful? I'd say it's the best thing I've ever tried. It's way better than a doctor's office. And it's not as pretentious either.
Ah,
So,
pretentious.
yeah.
Okay.
So, and I enjoy it.
Good.
Even though sometimes I'm really sore afterwards.
Well, okay, yeah. Is it painful? You brought that one up.
Yeah.
Have you found it to be painful? What's your experience there?
During the course of the treatment, let's see, the first time I was halfway bent over the table, it was interesting, and I felt the effects the next day. But at the same time, I felt way better. So it was like I felt my muscles stretching and moving, but I felt better. So it was interesting.
Great, great.
So it can be painful, yes, but not in the way that you would think.
Okay. Of all the things you've enjoyed about coming to see me, what was the thing you've liked best?
I feel better. I feel better physically. I feel better emotionally. And the pain is gone. And I know how to make it go away without any chemicals, without any surgeries, without anything. It's just everything's better.
Excellent. Great. What would you say to anyone seeing this who is currently skeptical or just plain undecided about myofascial release?
Do your research. Do every single possible sort of anatomy research that you can possibly do, and try to understand what the fascia actually does. Ask questions. Come and talk to him. Talk to Michael. He knows what he's talking about. And just do the research, do everything you possibly can to get the black and white facts, and then try it. Because the only way you can feel the benefits is by actually trying it. So.
For sure. Sure. What was the number one thing you wanted to achieve by coming to see me, and did I help you achieve
it? I wanted to fix my ankles, and yes, it helped. It's achieved.
Great. Great. Along with other things. So,
yes.
Yeah.
It went beyond what I thought. Above expectations.
Great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay.